Hello chess fans, my name is Jake. Today I'm going to show you the game of Maggeramov against Ehlvest in Moscow in 1992. Maggeramov had the white pieces and Ehlvest the black pieces. Maggeramov starts with d4, e6, the Horvitz defense by Ehlvest, c4 and b6. This is the English defense. e4, trying to control the center. Bishop to b7, threatening to grab the a4 pawn. Bishop to d3, developing a minor piece and at the same time defending the e4 pawn. Knight to c6, threatening to grab the d4 pawn, and Maggeramov develops and his kingside knight and defending the d4 pawn by playing knight to f3. There we see knight to b4 and castling over kingside. Knight to e7 with the idea of going to knight to g6 and knight to c3. Knight captures, queen captures on d3. What if knight wouldn't grab the bishop on d3? For example, h6, then bishop to b1 and white has an advantage. So there we see this knight takes on d3, queen takes on d3 and knight to g6. b3 trying to make a pawn structure. Bishop to e7, d5, Maggeramov advances and e5. Knight to e2, castling on the king side, knight to g3 and d6. Knight to f5 and bishop to c8. Ehlvest has seen that the bishop of b7 couldn't do anything as the d5 pawn covered the c6, the c4 covered the b5, b3 covered the a4, so bishop retreats back on c8 and has a great diagonal, hitting the knight on f5. And we see bishop to d2. There's not any possible reason to fianchetto the queenside bishop, and this bishop is holding the e3 and the g5 square. Rook to e8, rook a to e1, bishop d7, king to h1 and bishop to f8. Well, Ehlvest plays a great defense by holding the bishop on f8, covering the e7, the knight holds the h4 and the f4, and at the same time the queen has a very good diagonal. So we see g3 and queen to c8. Now there is a very powerful counter attack. For example, a4, then we see bishop grabs on f5, pawn grabs on f5 and e4. Rook takes on e4, queen takes on f5, and the position is like equal, with a slight advantage for white. So we see this knight to e3, h6, knight to g1, bishop to e7, f4, e takes on f4, g takes on f4, and bishop to h4, rook to e2, f6, and knight to g2. If f5, then knight goes on e5 and gets a great square, hitting the queen on d3, hitting the pawn on c4, controlling the f3, controlling the g4. Yeah, it's a very unpleasant position for white. So there we see knight to g2, b5, a smart pawn sacrifice, ensuring that the like square bishop will be able to get into the game. c5. What if c takes on b5? There we have queen to b7 and a6. Bishop takes on a6, queen takes on a6, queen takes on a6, rook takes on a6, a4, rook to b8, and black covers the exchange. What if white tries to defend the b3? Rook to b1, rook takes on a4. Of course you cannot recapture on a4 because there is the rook takes rook on b1, and this is very unpleasant for white. So yeah, but we can see also the variation of queen to b7. We have a4, a6, b takes on a6, rook takes on a6, with the idea of c6, and just imagine this bishop having the long diagonal. So that's why Maggeramov didn't capture the pawn on b5 and plays c5, d takes on c5, e5, bishop to f5, threatening to hit the queen, queen takes on b5, and c6. And this d takes on c6. What if queen takes on c6? Queen takes on c6, queen takes on c6, d takes on c6, bishop to d3, and picks up the exchange. Yeah, d takes on c6, bishop to e7, getting back to the e7 square to defend the c5 pawn, rook to e3, rook to b8, kicking the queen out of the game, queen to a4, rook to b6, c7, rook to a6, hitting the queen again, and bishop to a5. I believe to my mind that it's better to play queen to b5 and rook takes on a2, and then rook to e2. But Maggeramov plays bishop to a5, bishop to d7, hitting the queen again, queen to a3, bishop to c6, knight to f3, queen to g4, e6. Maggeramov is trying to give some pawns to continue playing the game. F takes on e6, b4, c takes on b4, giving space to the queen. Queen to c1, threatening to regrab the bishop. Bishop to b7, and Maggeramov resigned. Yeah, the bishop on a5 is about to drop, among other things, so white resigned. For me, there was a poetic justice in this game. White was punished for overextending the center, and the black light squared bishop played and signified the power on its downfall. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe because this will help me a lot. Have a nice day. Goodbye.